2017's been a big year for mobile AR. We saw Facebook's camera effects, Google's visual search, and of course Apple's ARkit and Google's ARkore. And those last two are really the most impactful because they enable developers to build more advanced AR, and that can really scale when it's in the hands of developers who are incentivized by an installed base of hundreds of millions of smartphones. So how many devices is it? Artillry has done the math and found that there will be about 500 million AR-compatible phones by year-end and 4.3 billion by 2020. And they'll cycle in fast, really as a function of hardware replacement cycles. And Apple has the short-run advantage based on a more unified hardware and software set that supports wider compatibility with ARkit, whereas the Android universe is fragmented between several different devices. But Android will have the longer-term scale, though it will take longer for ARkore compatibility to kind of cycle in. It will eventually cover most of the Android universe by 2020, which will be about 3.9 billion devices. So what are other differentiators? ARkit has a more integrated software stack, including tools like Metal and Swift, that create more elegant AR experiences that run on ARkit. And Apple's classic vertical integration also gives it greater control over things like camera optics and software updates. But on the other hand, ARkore is more open with a broader set of lower friction development tools like Tilt Brush and Google Blocks. And there's adjacent software like Daydream and Google Lens and Tango, which has lots of AR experience and IP. And then lastly, Google's banking on web delivery for AR, accessed through interlinked mobile websites, instead of Apple's more app-heavy approach, which could have more user friction. And this all really represents a continuation of the apps versus web structures that run deep in the DNA of these two companies and will continue into the AR era. Speaking of historical competition, just like the mobile OS wars between iOS and Android over the past decade, mobile AR will force platform decisions from users and developers. So attracting developers will be critical to build a compelling AR library that attracts users and grows the installed base, which in turn attracts more developers. So it's sort of a virtuous circle. And developers will also come from other areas. So mobile AR's scale will attract VR developers with transferable 3D design skills. And that will really boost mobile AR with the developer muscle that it needs to get ready for the next evolutionary step, which will be glasses-based AR. So mobile AR is sort of a training ground for that future point. Put another way, many of yesterday's VR developers will be today's mobile AR developers and tomorrow's AR glasses developers, which is really the ultimate AR endgame.